Hi everybody, these spicy, zingy Ginger Molasses Spice Cookies are the very best that we have ever tried. We can't wait to show you how to make them. You're going to love them and they're great for the holidays.
Welcome back to Two Peas in the Kitchen, and in today's video we're going to show you how to make these gorgeous Ginger Molasses Spiced Cookies. These are rolled in sparkling sugar, the entire cookie. We'll show you how to do that soon. They are wonderful cookies for the holidays. We also have a secret ingredient in these cookies, so stay tuned and you'll learn how to make them.
So the first thing we're going to do is get all of our dry ingredients mixed in this large Pyrex. We're adding 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, which is 320 grams. Next, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Next up is 1 1/2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Then add 1 1/2 teaspoons of ground ginger. Here's where it starts to smell delicious. We're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. Next up is 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. The last 2 spices we're going to add is simply 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper and 1/4 teaspoon of table salt. And then you just want to grab a whisk and really incorporate all of these dry ingredients super well so that when we mix them with the wet ingredients, everything is already mixed together here with your spices and flour. Okay, we're going to get ready to make our cookies, and before we do that, we're going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees so that it's all set and ready to go when we're done. Okay, we are going to use a countertop stand mixer to make these cookies really easy, but you don't have to. You could either just do this with a hand whisk or you can do it with a hand beater or whatever is easiest for you. So the first thing that we're going to do is we have 12 tablespoons of unsalted butter. This is a 1.5 sticks, and this is at room temperature, so it's nice and soft. It's going to be easy to mix in with our sugars. We have 1/3 cup of regular white, just table sugar here, and that's 80 grams. And we have 1/3 cup of packed dark brown sugar. This is 85 grams of dark brown sugar. And you can see that was nicely packed. And we're gonna combine these nicely together until they're a little bit lighter and fluffier. So that's gonna probably be a good minute or 2 of mixing here in the stand mixer or whatever utensil you're gonna use to mix. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit, and in a minute we'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so after you've gotten it, you can see it's a lot lighter in color and it's really well incorporated here. You just need to get everything kind of off the sides of the bowl, just like that, just with a spatula. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract right into the mixer there, and then 1 egg yolk. I've separated the egg, it's only the yolk, and we're going to put that in. And we're going to continue with our mixing. And I would say you want another probably 60 seconds, maybe 75 seconds of mixing. It's going to continue to get a little bit fluffier and lighter in texture while it's mixing. This is a very, very nice quality organic dark molasses. I think it's better to use dark molasses in these cookies. So this is 1/2 cup of the dark molasses. Okay, so remember Rafi got all of our dry ingredients all mixed together, and you can see now why it's so important to always incorporate all of your dry ingredients together so that everything is equally going to be dispersed throughout our recipe here. So I'm going to try to get this in here without making a mess on the video, but this is all of our dry ingredients. We're just pouring all of them right into our wet ingredients, and we're going to start really slow so we don't have a flour explosion. But this is just going to all incorporate together. Okay, so what we have discovered after trying a lot of different ginger molasses cookies is the difference really is putting in candied ginger into the cookies. So this is actually little ginger bits that you can buy from the King Arthur Flour Company on their website. And these are awesome because they're already all chopped up and they're sugar coated, so they're very easy to use. But you can also buy candied ginger at Trader Joe's or at Whole Foods or whatever and just chop it up into little tiny pieces like this. This is a very generous 1/2 cup because we love it. This adds a lot of moisture to the cookies and a lot of zingy flavor, which is a big difference in ginger cookies in general. These are not boring cookies. So if you are a ginger lover, definitely do this. So we're just gonna add those in, let the ginger pieces incorporate into the dough. You can see the nice color that it has from the molasses. And once that's incorporated, Rafi's gonna show you the next step of getting these cookies rolled into balls and dipped in sugar.
Okay, now comes the fun part. So our cookie dough is finished, and we have a scoop here. This is just a 1 tablespoon cookie scoop. And what I'm going to do is scoop out a tablespoon. I washed my hands, and then I'm going to gently roll it into a ball. And then here I have a bowl of sparkling sugar. Now this is from King Arthur. We feel that it's the best sparkling sugar out there. It's a little bit bigger than what you would normally find, but you can use whatever you find. If you have any on hand, go ahead. So I'm just gonna roll this in the bowl gently, and you're gonna cover the entire ball. And that's it. And then I'm gonna put this right on a cookie sheet with parchment paper. Now you want the parchment paper, we use unbleached parchment paper here, so that the molasses in the cookie actually doesn't stick to your cookie sheet. So use some parchment. We're gonna put a dozen of these balls, and then we're gonna go ahead and bake them. Okay, so I have a dozen on this cookie sheet here, and I just spaced them out evenly, and you can see about how big they'll get. And they're gonna bake for about 11 minutes, and you'll know that they're done because you'll get the nice crackling on top. And you don't wanna over bake them because these should be a little bit chewy. You don't want them crisp. So once you see the beautiful cracks on top of the cookie, they should be done about 11 minutes. We'll show you what they look like. Okay, so these actually just came out of the oven. Everything smells amazing. You can see that they're done because of the crackling on top. And these were in for exactly 11 minutes, again, with the 1 tablespoon cookie scoop. And we're going to let them just sit on the cookie sheet for about 4 to 5 minutes to cool a little bit, and then go ahead and place them on a wire rack like this one to let them completely cool before you store them. And another thing, these are great cookies to be able to freeze. They freeze beautifully. So what I would do, if you want to freeze your cookies, let them cool completely. They need to cool completely. Make sure you don't put them in the freezer when they're still warm. So let them cool completely, and then you can just put a layer of them in a plastic Ziploc bag, freezer bag. Make sure it's nice and make sure that all the air is out of the bag. Stick them in the freezer, and then you could make these ahead of time, and then when you're ready to serve them, you can take them out of the freezer and then immediately take them out of the bag, and you can even put them on a wire rack like this for maybe half an hour, and then they'll get to room temperature, and then you'll be good to go. They freeze beautifully, great to take to someone's house, or if you want to make some stuff ahead of time, if you have company, so that you have less to worry about the day of.